Alright everyone, the censorship lovers have definitely taken up a clear ideological side with regards to the Rittenhouse case. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse, the kid who was defending himself with a friend's weapon that, by the way, was not transported across state lines, we now know. It was in Wisconsin to begin with. Whoops, Legacy Media, there's more defamation for when he goes scot-free, which I suspect that he will. In fact, that nullifies at least one of the charges against him, which was illegal possession of a weapon. Apparently, Kyle Rittenhouse is now getting legal help from Lynn Wood. Now, you'll know that name from the Sandman cases, which have gone absolutely fantastically for him. Nick Sandman, he's got more money than you could possibly spend in a lifetime at this point. If he invests it properly, he doesn't really need to worry about getting employment because the money generated just in proceeds from the investment will pay off dividends. Look into mutual funds, my friend. Disclaimer, I'm not giving official, advice economically because I'm not an economist or an accountant or anything. Anyway, Sandman, I think, has won 3 settlements already, or 2 or 3, which have to be altogether in the multiple millions at this point. I would think at a bare minimum he's now a millionaire. And then they're going to defend Kyle Rittenhouse. I can't imagine that they would do that just for the high profile of the case, unless they thought there was a damn good reason to. But this was clear-cut self-defense. And it's funny because Gofundme took down Rittenhouse's page, but they're allowing the page up for the man who assaulted him and got his arm half blown off, who, by the way, as a felon, was committing another felony by owning a gun at the time. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't. He's got no criminal record. I found it so funny that leftists were trying to gaslight the situation by saying, well, Kyle Rittenhouse beats up girls, because they had, apparently they had a video, and the allegation, and again, allegation because I'm not even sure that it's him, based on the footage, the allegation is that Rittenhouse was helping, I guess some chick was attacking his sister or something, and so he showed up to sort of defend her and ward her off and slaps her around a bit. Dude, they're teenagers, number 1. Number 2, I can't confirm that it's him. Number 3, I don't have any goddamn backstory. I don't have a video of the lead up to that incident like I do Kyle Rittenhouse shooting several people in clear-cut self-defense. It's irrelevant. The idea that the dude he's dangerous, he showed up to kill people. No, he showed up to scrub graffiti, actually. Volunteering with the fire department. Got a gun from his friend in Kenosha, again, perfectly legal because he's above the age of 16, because he realized, hey, if I'm going to go into this zone and put out fires or try to give medical aid to protesters or something, I might get attacked. It's probably a good idea if I have a weapon. And by the way, you see so many leftists holding weapons, half of which aren't legally entitled to hold them at the time because they're fucking felons, like the dude whose GoFundMe is still up, but still nonetheless is allowed to use GoFundMe. Nonetheless, it was still a criminal. Again, the dude that got his arm shot, there's a very good, well-placed shot. It didn't kill him. It just kept him from using that firearm, that's for sure. He's a felon. He's not supposed to own a firearm. Why is GoFundMe allowing a literal, clear-cut, objective criminal, charged or not, to use GoFundMe? And why would GoFundMe ban Kyle Rittenhouse? He's been charged, but he hasn't been convicted of anything. He wasn't clear-cut and objectively breaking the law like these other 3 assholes that attacked him. Like, the pedophile, again, the felon with a gun, the wife beater, convicted multiple times. What wonderful people. Their families get all sorts of money from GoFundMe, but GoFundMe kicks off Rittenhouse. Then by the way, they suspended Cassandra Fairbanks the other night, actually. Temporarily, a temporary suspension. It's funny because ban and suspension mean opposite what they normally mean on Twitter, because she had said Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. What part of that goes against the TOS? Supposedly it falls under the broad heading of glorifying violence. It's not glorifying anything. It's saying that he acted in fucking self-defense. So Twitter, I guess, has taken up a clear ideological line as well. All of these different groups and individuals are defaming Kyle Rittenhouse. I have no doubt whatsoever that he's not going to get convicted on these murder charges. And since he apparently got the weapon from in the state itself and was over 16 at the time, that charge isn't going to stick. What the fuck else can they charge him with? There was no attempted homicide here. He was defending himself against 3 people that were armed and already attacking him while he was fleeing. Apparently, the reason they attacked him in the first place was he put out a dumpster fire within 20 feet of fucking gas pumps at a gas station. What are you smoking? Why is it that he gets charged and all of these goddamn miscreants never get charged with anything? If they get caught at all, they get summarily processed and then they get released without bail if there's any pending charge at all. Usually you don't even get that. I'm beginning to think that something is rotten in Denmark. I'm beginning to think that maybe the prosecutorial system in some of these big cities is all sorts of fucked up and that there's a political reason behind that. I'm beginning to think that deeper pockets than a bunch of tendy-eating basement dwellers are probably responsible for funding the whole apparatus. It's funny because another thing that the leftists are gaslighting about, they're like, well, Antifa's not actually an organization. They don't have a central leader. Organization requires organization, not leadership in the overarching sense. You can have a group, an idea that has local chapters. They're still organized groups. They're still criminal in nature as well. You've got manifestos. You've got literature ascribed to Antifa. They've got a set of beliefs that's fairly clear. They do not like the United States. They are communist in nature. They believe that they want to arrive at their weird anarcho-communist fusion by causing violence and provoking people and breaking the law and attempting to subvert the system. It's right there in fucking black and white, but if you talk to the average far leftist, they'll gaslight you and tell you, no, that's not really real. Antifa's not really a movement, so totally sidestep what you're saying. By the way, there are other leftists that are conducting violence at these various riots, not just in Portland, but elsewhere. BLM are mostly socialists. They're far leftists. They're violent individuals. They've been breaking windows and assaulting people, harassing and threatening them criminally, attacking people's homes, burglarizing storefronts, doing stupid shit. These people are criminals. BLM as an organization should be labeled a criminal organization. They're not trying to bring about a police reform or racial justice or any of these other family-friendly sounding buzz terms. It's just like the term Antifa. Oh, Antifa means anti-fascist. No, it doesn't. It stopped meaning anything close to that. It started meaning an organization that goes around attacking random people using the excuse that they're all Nazis because they don't believe as you do. That's really what it's devolved into. If there was an actual fascist movement in the United States to fight, you could call yourself anti-fascists. But you're not. You're not fighting fascism. The only time that people on the further right show up is when you've already spent 2 fucking months burning things to the ground. Until then, it was store owners and people like that were resisting you. But the militias have moved in to defend the defenseless. See, these cities have decided that people should be cucked and disarmed, and they shouldn't be able to do anything about the fact that there are criminals roving around and their police aren't allowed to arrest them, and the DA won't prosecute them, and the political structure in charge there won't call them out ideologically and disavow them. I still am waiting for a disavowal from someone like Joe Biden about Antifa. I don't think I'm ever going to get it. That's about all. Peace out.